We are live.
What's up? Whoa, what a day. I haven't eaten since breakfast, bro. I seriously haven't eaten. And my appetite's been fucking insane lately. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but finally got my no morbidity, and the universe was working against me on this. And
Yeah.
dude, they both showed up on the same day. They both showed up. So we overnighted it on Thursday to get here Friday. And then it didn't get here. And then we overnighted it another one, and it didn't. Both of them came Thursday. So it was funny. Are you kidding me? But nonetheless, it's insane. This is by far the best fucking formula ever. This is fucking insane. I am like, I haven't tried it since the samples. And at that time, I was having trouble getting in enough calories. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I don't want to not eat.
Right.
So I didn't really get to enjoy the effects. And Alan's like, fuck, dude, this formula is stupid. It's almost like, did we put some prescription shit in here? But no, ours actually works and doesn't kill your heart. So it's not prescription. That's Pfizer. Pfizer takes care of that. You can't have, Pfizer's not even lying, Alan. You can't have an appetite if you die.
No, it's actually, that's appetite suppression. It certainly is.
It is the ultimate form of appetite suppression, death.
Man, a lot of people in the comments are saying they already got theirs. You guys, that is, I gotta say this. Like, this is obviously my first endeavor with Marc in the Ambrosia Collective like this. I cannot get over the customer service, dude. Like, I mean, I really can't. Like, people were messaging me on the live that, like, when I went live for the launch of it, people were messaging me that they got tracking numbers in, like, they ordered it at the beginning of the live, and before the live was over, they already had tracking numbers and shit like that. It's so impressive, dude.
So
like, that is much.
Yeah, Ambrosia, and the difference is there's different people, but it's the same. It's the same kind of leadership. Sean and I work very well together. Any company I'm involved in, we're gonna own customer service. Period. And Ambrosia, Tiger Fitness, the difference is we're actually a shipping and receiving company. Ambrosia is as well, but it's not like Tiger Fitness. That's the core competency. So Tiger Fitness, you have two logistical locations. You know, the only issue with Ambrosia is we're shipping everything from Cali, which might take longer. But still, again, they're both great places to order from, obviously. Tiger Fitness should be getting their no morbidity stock in Monday or Tuesday. So that's...
So we will have another, for those of you that missed it, we will have another small stock before the big restock.
Yeah, and the big restock's going to take 6 weeks. I mean, just bottom line. I mean, we could be like 2 weeks and then say 2 weeks after 2 weeks. At the end of the day, to produce the way we produce with all the NSF coming in, coming out, the BSCG, which is the, drug testing for our products, because we do supply a lot of athletes with Planta and everything. And, so it does take time. So a lot of people are like, you're out of stock. Why don't you get, like, we can't just like whip it up in the kitchen. Like, so people always say, it's funny. I mean, this is so ADHD, so off topic, but people always be like, FDA regulates the shit out of things. People just don't follow it. Yeah. And then they get shut down, or they get letters, or they get sued. But the thing is with Ambrosia or any of our companies, we follow these processes. So you can't just click it in. If a company says, I'll have it, we ran out, we'll make it in a week. I'd be kind of worried.
Yeah. How are you, like, got one of those like encapsulators, like by yourself, and like mix it together?
I don't know how prevalent that is now, but that used to be a thing. Back in the day, that used to be a thing. And now I don't think it's as easy to do stuff like that. But again, man, it's one of those things. You got to go with companies that you trust. You got to go with companies where you can see them. They're out in the open. They're transparent, and that's what we give you guys. We give you that opportunity to do business with somebody you could trust. By the way, I'm tweeting out that we're on here right now, if you're wondering what I'm doing. So what are we talking about today?
I thought we could talk about, first of all, I wanted to like just get you on here also so you can like, there's going to be a ton of people in the comments section probably saying how they've gotten it and everything like that, just so you can see. But also, I thought you and I could talk about how your personal health can increase your productivity in life, just in
Mhm.
general. And out of anybody I know, and this is, I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to the other day, but like, I'm a pretty productive dude. I get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning every morning. I read at least 100 pages a day of normally studies, which is dry as fuck sometimes. But
Studies can get. I was reading sauna studies this morning. That's when my post
yeah,
came from, and I'm like,
but
how do I do this? What am I doing with my life?
I read the NIH paper. I literally read the NIH paper over on Twitter just right before we were here. But and then like I plan stuff out. I'm very productive, and in a day I do multiple things every single day. Content, interaction, 100 and some clients that we interact with daily, all that stuff. And I still feel like I'm fucking a lazy fuck compared to you sometimes. So I thought we would have you on here so we can talk about how what you do for your personal health and what I do for my personal health allows us to be more productive than the average person, I would say. And it's not to knock on any of you, but a lot of you aren't very productive. Like, let's be real, a lot of you are not. I mean, a lot of people find themselves watching a lot of. And don't get me wrong, I watch a little TV every day. Like I watch a little TV every day.
I end my day with TV. I've been watching Wesley Snipes. I found that. Did you see that movie? There's one called Finding Adam with what's his face from Deadpool. It's actually fucking great. It's on Netflix. I know conservatives don't like Netflix, and I get the whole cuties thing. I understand, but if it wasn't for Netflix, I'd have nothing to watch. That's all I watch. I'm sorry. I mean, I pick and choose my battles.
Well, my thing is, and we're actually considering Netflix again because they're showing it to be more balanced. And you know me, I'm not really a conservative. I'm a kind of constitutionalist, you know. And if you're going to allow everybody to have a voice, I can be down with that. So we're thinking about Netflix again. So
yeah, pedophilia is a bit beyond my liking, but like it's one of those where, I mean, I was actually like, man, this Republican thing sounds kind of good. And then there are all but 8, by the way, both senators from the great state of Tennessee voted against it. The $40 billion to Ukraine. After that, I'm like, fuck it, independent we go.
Yeah, I mean,
meanwhile, we can't afford security in schools.
Right. The fucked up thing is me and you, like even when I remember me and you talking like, why the fuck are they late? Just because I don't want to vote for a demented, like cognitively impaired, like fucking elderly guy with a horrible track record and who is openly racist, like fucking
he really hates people.
Like all of a sudden I'm some evil, like they were labeling me as alt-right. Like, don't let the tattoos and shit fool you, motherfuckers. Like that the entire time, and I don't do it anymore, but like they're labeling me like this alt-right person. I'm an atheist. They hate, like the alt-right people do not like me. Like, I mean, like people tell me, and they tell you all the time, like you should run for office. Like I'm not electable.
No,
like, I mean,
no,
I'm absolutely not.
I will fight everybody.
Yeah, I am absolutely not electable. Like, I mean, I'm an atheist redneck that lives in Florida that believes in like both like legalization of marijuana for any use and like anything like that, and gun. Like, I believe that all gun laws are unconstitutional. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like it's this weird thing. Like, people are like, you should run. Like, what? For what? Like, I would never even make it to the ballot. Like, you know,
I'm just going to coach kids. I found my place in life, and just getting back to the productivity thing. I think that we've all kind of refined it with age. And I wish I knew when I was, 20 or 30, in my 20s or 30s, what I know now in my 40s. And that's something that took years. And also the shit we know now, we didn't know back in the 90s and the early 2000s. We didn't know much about circadian rhythm. We didn't know much about, different kind of sleeping patterns. And in fact, I mean, sleep, we always knew the importance of sleep, but it was always drowned out by the CEOs and the Jocko Wallinks of the world going like 4:30 a.m. club, bro, sleep when you're dead. The sleep is the cousin of death. So you thought to be successful, you need to sleep, when in reality, you just made it so your waking hours are less productive. So you need more waking hours to equal productive hours of if you had enough sleep. So I think we all were fed that line of bullshit. And the people I looked up to, you know, the guys like Jocko and those guys. And Jocko, if he was like 4:30 a.m., I'm up. By the way, guys, I went to bed at 8 last night. No. But people see that and they'll go to bed at midnight. Maybe they got caught up doing something and they don't realize, oh man, that was a bad idea. So all these guys I used to follow were big on the whole get up early, you know, early bird gets the worm. And they never really got that. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm putting this right up there. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave him in here. Marc Lobiner. Yes.
Yeah. What? Like, yes. I'm sorry, but like, what do they think they accomplished by that?
Man,
your titties just sounds really neat.
You know, honestly, and this is the great time to do it because we're ADHD and we will address. Just ignore him. No. We want to give this guy. This is the highlight of his fucking year. Like he is like popular right now. Like this is a guy that the FBI needs to surveil because he's a dude who will shoot them some things up. This is a guy with mental issues. Anybody who goes into a random YouTube and talks about somebody like this, like out of nowhere, that's somebody with severe mental issues. Like this guy, I'm going to call, you know, we have that one of our athletes actually works with the FBI. You know him. We should call him and have him trace this guy, not to arrest him, but just to make sure that he's not around any buildings. This idiot.
No shit. I like. What do you think you like? It's like
I'm on steroids, but it's not even like an insult. I'm literally on steroids. Like, I mean, it's like okay.
Let me run this down for you people. Right? and this is no shit. I'm just going to be real, right? If you like, Marc has openly said like, you know, bodybuilding is not the healthiest thing in the world. You know the trade-offs, right? So that's the only thing that they mark against. If it's the other shit. Like, I got to be real. Marc owns how many fucking businesses? And he is a high school fucking, like, first of all, if he was on illegal drugs, he wouldn't be able to do what he does. He's a high school fucking strength coach.
I get drug tested.
Yeah, he's a high school strength coach. He runs like 10 fucking businesses. It's amazing to me how YouTube views you and like the rest of the world views you. Like, Marc Lobiner right now, and I'm talking about him in the third person if he's not fucking here. But Marc literally is on like all sorts of different actual national talk shows because his opinion matters and what he's done. And yet you motherfuckers like you roidliner, like dude, like YouTube is this small little microcosm of shit. When this man, most of you would cut off your own fucking nuts to have Marc's life. Like for real, like you'd be like, and I'm talking like if you actually knew how he lived, the way, like his life, how happy he is, the people that support him, what he does for other people, the example he sets in his own community. Most of you motherfuckers could literally, and I mean literally, like you could try to emulate his life and be better for it. Like literally be better for it.
So before I block this guy, I wanted me to, you promote your products by being big and enhanced. I promote pre-workouts, which give you energy. And I don't sell products that don't back up claims. This is what gets you blocked. You're a bad example for kids. For that, sir, you are blocked forever. You're not in timeout. You're gone. Oh shit, I blocked the wrong guy. Oh no.
We can't block him either.
How do I unblock? How do I block?
I don't know. Big Spoon, we did not mean to block you.
How do we get rid of him? How do we get him back?
I don't know.
I blocked the right one now. How do I block?
I don't know, but he's like an avid, like he's bought shit and everything like that too.
Oh no!
I don't know.
We're gonna have to find it out. It moved right when I did it. Yeah. Okay, we'll figure this out, Bear. We'll figure this out. I don't know if it's.
I've done that before. I've done that before too, though. Where it fucking.
We'll fix it. We will fix. We'll fix it.
We will fix. I promise you, we'll fix, man.
Big Spoon Bear. No, not Big Spoon Bear. I know. I fucked up. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
This is why we. I don't even know. I don't even know what to do. Okay, so back to productivity. I think the body likes consistency, and the body likes certain things. Number one is you want to get up and exercise or do something. You know, you don't want to just get up, hop in your phone, and just start the day with stress, even though we all kind of tend to do that. We pick up our phone right when we wake up, our alarms on our phone, but try not to get involved in that. Try to get going, try to get moving, try to get some activity first thing in the morning. But the bottom line is none of that matters if you're not healthy, if you don't exercise, and if you don't eat correctly. So I think that's number one. Number two is you can't be fat. Even when I was trying to put on some muscle this off season, even though I was lean comparatively speaking, I didn't feel as good. So obviously just being in good shape. And I think mindset is key. Like you got to have a positive mindset. You got to not let stress get to you. I know that's easier said than done. And I let stress get to me, but you always got to look at the bright side of things. So, I mean, there's the overview of what it is, but I think it all comes down to being in good shape. Being in good shape, being healthy, that takes care of most of it. If you look at people crushing life, usually it's the fat, Chris Farley was, 1 in a million, where he had the energy. He ended up dying of drug overdose,
If you look at his life, like people like Chris Farley and stuff like that, that's what I don't think people understand. People like Chris Farley or like that, if you get famous or he wasn't productive, he was just very good at one fucking thing, And by the way, Mark, we got Big Spoon Bear back on his other account. Dude, we'll fix that later, I promise you. But thanks for being here on the other account. But just switched my actual YouTube account if anyone wants children's stories. That's amazing.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I love it. I like
everybody
that.
Everybody go follow him on his main channel to watch children's stories, because that way we can make up for blocking him by accident. It's so hard sometimes, especially when the comments come fast and furious. The system we use does not do a great job of that, but dude, thank you. But my thing is, for productivity, one of the things I learned about you is I'm insane. Like, this is me in person, right? And I don't slow down. And I found myself getting less and less and less and less productive when I didn't start compartmentalizing at least some of my stress and my sleep. Like, those were the two things. Like, once I started compartmentalizing, okay, I'm going to sleep now. This is something we actually teach our clients. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to prep for sleep. I actually use your idea of contrast showers, and I give it to all my clients too.
So good.
Where I lower the room temperature down, like as much as I can, like within reason. I put a second blanket on my bed. I make sure the bed's nice and comfy and like that. I take a contrast shower and I end on cold, and I then slide into the bed and I let the warm covers heat me up. And as it heats me up, it relaxes me and I fall deep fucking sleep. That, and I do, by the way, and this is no shit, I use Ritual PM. Mark sent me this, said try it out to help your sleep, and it fucking killer.
It's such a good product. It is, and it's not melatonin based, so you're not going to have issues waking up or grogginess. I like to stack with melatonin. I actually do really well with melatonin. I like the antioxidant effects. It's actually recommended in a lot of stacks to help prevent and treat the C word. So, I'm actually a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of melatonin too. This one, for my ADHD, I got to admit, this one helps me better. Like, if I just take just melatonin, I wake up in the middle of the night and it's like got my brain still running. The melatonin just kind of shut me off. But this plus the contrast showers helps me relax, and the melatonin, I think, helps me stay deeply asleep.
So I actually do a little different than contrast showers, and what I will do is I either do an Epsom salt bath or I'll go in the sauna and I jump right into a straight cold shower. So I don't see the need to have any bit of a contrast. When I'm ready, my body's heated up, and then the cold shower gets me cold, and then my body reheats. So it's kind of a really cool way to go about things. So I normally, in the morning, I'll go train and I'll do the sauna, and then I'll go take a cold shower. At night, Epsom salt bath, cold shower. So I haven't taken a hot shower. The only time I'll take a hot shower is if I'm shaving. So yeah, I don't mess with the I think cold showers, they suck. I mean, you literally, I don't care if you're doing them for a year straight, you have to will yourself to get into a cold shower. But the bottom line is, I think they have so many benefits and they help so much.
Yeah.
And there's really no data to back that up. None. However, we know that it works. We know that it has benefits because we've used it. And the data, there's like a study on some women had better moods. But like all the stuff they're pulling up is from like long distance, like ocean swims. It's not from literally just showering in cold water. But for me, it might not have the benefits of the anti-inflammation. What it does is it gives you a nice dopamine burst. And it also conditions your body to do things that your mind doesn't want to do. So it has a couple mental and physiological benefits. However, good luck finding data. There is no data. So you have a lot of people just willy-nilly quoting data from things that are not applicable. So they're assuming that, you know, a long distance swim in the fucking Pacific going from San Francisco to Alcatraz is the same as a cold shower. So that's the problem. We have a lot of people who kind of misinterpret the science. And then when people look into the science, they go, this guy's bullshitting me. When you actually have to just look into it and sometimes say, look, man, there's no science to back this up. Contrast shower, that's all theoretical. Contrast shower, you're basically heating up for 90 seconds, cooling down for 30, ending on cold. But what it does is when you're cold, your body rushes your blood to your organs. Right. There's a reason why when you get frostbite and your fingers fall off, you don't need fingers to live. They help, right? Yeah. But you don't need them to live. Whereas you do need your kidneys and you do need your heart. So your body rushes it to your torso, to your organs, and takes it away from your extremities, which is why those are the first things to go, because they're expendable. Now, when you warm up again, your body basically flushes that blood to the extremities. Yeah. So that creates blood flow. So anytime, and I say this about training for the pump, this and that, anytime you can elicit blood flow, increase blood flow, that increases nutrient delivery, increases oxygenation, and it can help increase recovery. So that's the main thing, is that you're inducing a way to increase blood flow, to increase recovery. Same thing with cryotherapy, which is basically, in my opinion, an overpriced way to take a contrast shower. You're in there, you're cold, your body rushes everything to your organs. And then once the cold lets up, your body rushes things to its extremities. That's why I usually tell people not to waste their money on cryotherapy.
There's a few. I mean, obviously, the industries are going to be built off those things, but cryotherapy always seemed like a little odd to me. You know, like, I mean, it just seemed a little off. But you touched on it again too, and like, there's obviously weight loss is my thing. Like, I mean, that's the bulk of my business. But productivity wise, for being obese, it just very, like, you can look at the data. That's one of the reasons why when you hear these fat activists talk about, like, well, it's hiring discrimination if you're fat. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you're less productive. Like, there's more days off. Statistically, less production is done, especially if it is anything dealing, like if you have to walk around anything physical. I'm not talking about necessarily in today's world where a lot of stuff is done at the computer, but if you actually go to an office, most of the time, the heavier set you are, the less productive you are when 100%. It comes to, you know, when it comes to stuff like that. And you do end up statistically taking more time off work and being sick more often. And that's one of the reasons why they look at it. It also is, there's a certain degree of, and I know people don't like to admit this, but just straight up happiness, not being obese. Like, it's hard to be happy and obese. It's very, very hard, you know?
Horrible.
Yeah. People fake it really well, but it's very, very, very hard. And by the way, I see a few, for those of you that No Morbidity is arriving, take it consistently, same time of the day, every single day. Make sure you're getting adequate hydration, because, I mean, it basically helps turn off the cues from your stomach a little bit. So make sure you're hydrating really, 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 really well, and give it about 18 to 36 hours. And the next thing you know, small portions of food will make you feel very full, or you won't even feel hungry at all. You know, like,
so that's the thing. This morning, I wasn't even thinking about it, and I ate breakfast. I went to the gym afterwards. I ate 2 eggs, some chicken, and a bowl of the Bola Gains. It's from Flavor Gains. It's a company we're carrying. So it's basically cream of rice with cocoa in it. And I felt like I just ate at a fucking buffet. I felt like I just got the all-you-can-eat shrimp at the Sizzler. Like, it was insane. And that's when I realized we had something special. By the way, I have to go take care of something. I'll be right back. Literally,
no problem. 5 seconds. No problem. Basically what it does is, one of the mechanisms of Slim Luna, it works on the effect of your body creating ghrelin. So it doesn't actually create as much ghrelin in your stomach, but also just other satiation effects from it come from, you know, just about every ingredient. The only ones that really don't have a satiation effect is the KSM-66, and then we have that for mood enhancement and testosterone, stuff like that. But I just got to be, you know, just wanted to preface this with everybody. This is an actual health supplement we're looking at. A lot of times people get caught up in like they want like to feel immediate effect of a supplement.
Yeah.
You need to take this consistently. When you take it consistently, it will in fact change like your hunger levels.
I don't know, man. I told my wife, she took it yesterday too. So I took it yesterday right when I got it at like 1 p.m. because I'm like, fuck it, I'm hungry. I'm not following the directions. And last night my hunger was normal. At the end of the day, I did not have as much hunger. And this morning I woke up, I'm like, I'm gonna eat breakfast, whatever. I have to go to the gym. I had some shit to do because I went earlier. And holy shit. I mean, it's to the point where if I wasn't talking about no morbidity, I would not be thinking about food. So for me, food is a fucking pain in my ass because it causes energy swings because I'm extremely insulin sensitive. So the more I can prevent having to eat during the day, the more productive I will be. And that's why I always did pretty well with intermittent fasting. But when you're hungry and you're trying to get between meal 1 and meal 2, and all you think about is fucking food, like you're done. You're done. So that's what this does. It gives you the peace of mind to not just think about food. And that's the beauty of it. And the thing is, up till now, and I've tried every appetite suppressant I have because I've formulated a lot, and I have a store. I literally have one of the largest stores in the country for supplements. Nothing ever worked until this. No morbidity changed the game, and it's just fucking astounding. I this wasn't supposed to be a big like love fest about what we created, but it's
hard not to.
It's really insane. But speaking of productivity, that's another thing. Sean Torbati, our partner in Ambrosia, he actually said something. We're sitting with Mike one day. He's like, you think by now they'd figure out a way to get rid of eating. Think about how much time eating takes out of your day. Like breakfast, lunch, just going to lunch is an hour out of your day, a lunch break. Imagine if you had a lunch break and you were able to do something other than eating. You go to the El Torito, the business lunch, the this, the that. How much time is wasted eating? And that's why I loved intermittent fasting, because other than just thinking about food all the time, I never got the whole intermittent fasting like, oh, after about a month, you're not going to, I'm like, fuck you, I'm hungry, bitch. I can only drink so much fucking black. That's one guy from Last Alive. He's like, well, just drink black coffee. I'm like, bitch, it doesn't work.
As a black coffee lover, you can only drink so much. Like, I mean, the thing is, the productivity of it, I've said that before too. Man, I used to be able to sit down and eat thousands of calories, and the fucked up thing is I would be thinking about what I was going to eat next while I was eating. You know what I mean? Like that absorbs a humongous portion of your day, of your mind, and everything like that. When you're constantly thinking about it, like I tell people all the time, plan out your food. Well, for me, planning out my food is like I plan out one meal and a snack a day. Like that's where I'm at. Now, if I were to decide if I were an athlete, like you, I think I'd be planning some more food in. But I'm at a desk most days. I work out for an hour or so a day, and I'm very pleased with my results. Most people are not athletes. That's what people don't understand. Like most people should not eat 5-6 times a day. The amount of time and energy it takes to eat like fucking 5 and 6 times a day, I have no idea.
I'm with Heidi. I'll literally get done eating and I'll be thinking like, man, I can't wait till my next fucking meal. That's why outright bars for me are so good because I'll snack on those. But I mean, before you know it, you're fucking 2,000 calories into snacks. Yeah. So the thing is now, here's something to bring up. So my neighbor, tremendous visceral adipose tissue. It's a female. And she's like, I never eat. All I eat is salads on weekends. She's always going drinking. I don't think people realize that if you overeat one day, that fucks you up if you overeat that much. And alcohol combines a fucking punch. So every weekend they're going out there drinking whatever. So the doctor told her, I shit you not, this is a doctor. And I want your opinion. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while. That she is a obese anorexic. She's basically Tess Holiday.
That's bullshit.
She has, it is bullshit because she's fucking always eating. And but in front, like normally during the day, she'll probably be eating like 500 calories from salads and this and that. But then those binges, that's a lot of people don't realize, those fucking binges. Like if you eat good all week and you fuck up, I'm talking alcohol and everything, which is so many empty calories. It also fucks up your metabolism while you're drinking it for 9 hours afterwards, prevents any fat burning. Like, dude, you're fucking fat because you fucking go out and drink and your fucking metabolism's fucked and you don't fucking exercise enough.
You know, the anorexic thing, it really bothers me when doctors, first of all, it's a doctor. It's insulting to people that actually have that disorder, because that disorder is for the person and for the family members, that is painful to watch somebody starve themselves to death. It's horrible. And it just flies in the face of, it's a sign of our time though, you know, because it's like, we just make up shit. Like terms are just made up and put on other things. I also guarantee that the doctor's going off of what she claims she eats, when in fact she's probably eating in secret. Awesome sauce is passed out. My cat's passed out. But she's probably eating in secret a lot too. Like people that are I used to eat in secret. Like I would every time I walked past the pantry, I'd grab something, like every single time.
Yeah,
you know? And you eat it in the pantry door. You know, you're not seen eating all the time. The alcohol, like you're saying, it inhibits fat burning, but people consume thousands of fucking calories in alcohol, and they don't even realize it.
It's like drinking water. Imagine how much you get from. Imagine if Coca-Cola literally slowed down your metabolism while you're doing it, and you're drinking it, plus gave you the calories. Alcohol is so much worse than regular soda. Also destroyed your liver. I mean, the fact that society is okay with alcohol, but not okay with marijuana is just the fucking clown worldest thing I've ever heard in my life. That was my argument for marijuana. It was like, dude, alcohol. There's your argument for like no one. But driving on the problem with marijuana, you can't measure how high someone is, and marijuana will make it where you can't fucking drive right. So I have my brother-in-law who's a cop. He's like, yeah, we can't fuck. How do you fucking like? You just have to basically give him a sobriety. You can't have him blow. So you have to have him do like sobriety test shit and just be like, you're under the influence. Just like if you're under the influence of Valium, like Tiger Woods and shit, right?
Yeah. Tiger
Woods was under the influence of too many white women.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is his kryptonite. White strippers.
Yep. White strippers.
Bro, at least Tiger Woods, like, he got caught with some hot bitches, though. Like, yeah. Like, you know, like Clinton got caught with Lewinsky. Dude, Tiger Woods was like fucking Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
I'm betting you some times here, bro.
I mean, fucking Clinton got caught with a bunch of shit, too. But anyway, we're not going to, that's for a different podcast.
I mean, Clinton, like, dude, he's also the Epstein Island thing. I think these guys are just sick.
Yeah.
I think they're just sick people. Like, it's not just Lewinsky. It's just, you're just a sick person. And that's just not Clinton. That's anybody in DC and Hollywood. I mean, 99% of them are probably like just freaks, just disturbingly nasty freaks.
That's like that fucking crazy woman. And this is we've talked about productivity, but here's where I think ADHD just takes over. The fucking, I got to tell you, like, what's her name? The fucking Alyssa Milano chick.
Oh, yeah. This
woman grew up in Hollywood, and her best friend was married to Weinstein, and she's a big Me Too person. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, are you telling me you don't know that this shit happens in Hollywood? Like, you don't know Hollywood, and this is no shit. I'm not talking all Hollywood actors. I'm not saying that it's all this way, but there are a bunch of sick fucks that are famous for pretending to be other people. Like, I mean, and that's like we somehow give a shit what Robert De Niro says about the world because we like the characters he played. You know, like half these people get so they believe their own fucking hype so fucking much, and other people that love them, they absolutely love them. Like, they believe every word these people say. These people pretend to be other people for a fucking living, and like, I don't get it.
I like when they do PSAs and we're acting like they weren't paid for them. They're literally actors. They get paid to say shit they don't believe. It's like, well, they sung Heal the World because there was a shooting. It's like, they also like pretended to be a bat. person.
Yeah.
It's like you're yeah. But the thing is, and we've seen it. Like we were just talking this morning about a bodybuilder we're both friends with, and how he kind of transitioned because his personality changed when he became powerful, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, when you get that power, you change, and I think it's just human to change when you have power because you embrace this role as a leader, and maybe you're not meant for it, and then you become like, these people aren't at my level. So
Right.
I think it's just human shit. You know, and you're in Hollywood, everybody, you know, you red carpets and this and that and green rooms and all this crazy shit. And there's a few who remain very, you know, based, not based as in conservative, but just based on who they are. Like they have a base. They don't change, or they change very little, where it doesn't essentially destroy the fabric of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, you give someone some power, and I've seen it. I've had business partners do it, and you know, you get a little bit of power, a little bit of money, and you change fundamentally.
Yeah.
And it's just inevitable. Me, I think that what really prevents me from ever having that is that, I mean, you know, I always have a wife who'll gladly tell me how much I suck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that keeps me grounded. And the fact that I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. You're talking about Alyssa Milano, you know, bitch has always been rich. You know, it's easy for her to talk about the starving children when she's never fucking been hungry. So she's just talking about it like, oh, those little piss ants are hungry. We should just give them our millions of dollars or tax people more, when she's never had to work her way up from nothing to become something. And that's where you appreciate the self-made. You know, you appreciate the people who came from nothing. You appreciate the people, which, by the way, I think 80% or more millionaires, if not more, are self-made, meaning that they didn't start out as millionaires. So most millionaires, the ones who are getting taxed immensely in this country, getting punished for being successful, actually came from a position of nothingness, or at least just humbleness or humility or normalness. And then they get this power, they get this success. And one thing that Elijah Schaefer brought up when I was on his show, or I think we're at dinner, is that a lot of people who have this money, a lot of millionaires, do those other jobs. There's a lot of millionaire plumbing company owners, a lot of millionaire roofing company owners. Like these guys every day are going out doing grunt work, dirty jobs, as they call it, right? So they're not one of them. But like it or not, the millionaires in this country, maybe not the richest, but the bulk of the millionaires are doing the dirty shit. They're the ones grinding. They're the ones working 18-hour days. And that's below these Hollywood elites. And that's why they talk down to even the successful deplorables.
Yep. And you know, when you look at Hollywood in itself, like it's degenerate. Like, I mean, like we've talked about it for 2 years. We need to redo a lot of shit in our society. Like we've taken a wrong turn, people. Like, and I'm not talking like the whole morality of anything like that. You know, I'm not a religious guy, but there's like evil. Like, I mean, when we're talking, when we are literally talking about how we don't know the name. Like, I hate to even like get this messed up about it, but at no point in time in my history before the last like couple years, when children were involved, it was seen as, all right, you know, do what you need to do. Like if a dad walked in on somebody hurting his child, end that person, you know? And that, you know, when people would talk about like, when I grew up, nobody would talk about being attracted to children. And now it's like it's an actual thing that they talk about, even like in Hollywood.
Minor attracted persons.
We're, like I said, I'm not a religious person, but there is evil. This is evil, you know? And I think that the Hollywood purveys this type stuff with, you know, the coming of, you know, the like teen dramas. It's like a bunch of 30-year-olds playing like they're in high school, all having sex and shit like that. And like, everybody's just like, it's this crazy thing, you know, like, I don't know where we've gotten about this stuff, but at some point in time, we've reached a stage in society where there's a good portion of people that have reached like they don't want to be productive. Like we're talking about productivity here. They don't care if they're not if they don't do what they can to do to be healthy.
Mhm.
They're perfectly fine burdening the rest of us paying for their medical bills because that's what
Exactly.
happens. We have trillions of dollars a year in shared medical costs that are lifestyle chronic illness related.
Yep.
If you eat yourself into obesity and are not trying to change it, you are in fact harder on society. You're harder on the planet and you're not as productive as the rest of society. These are facts.
Yep.
But we have a bunch of people that don't want to be judged by this. They want us, but they want to be able to sit and judge others. At some point in time, the fracture is so large. We're going to have to decide. Maybe you guys can do your thing. We can do our thing. We'll be over here being bros and being healthy and not getting not being forced to take all sorts of crazy jabs. And you guys we'll check on you guys in like 5-10 years, see how you're doing.
Bro,
You know what I mean?
bro, man. So I agreed with that before. Tim Pool brought up a good point. Civil War started out as a peaceful divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, well, we want these military bases. And then shit went crazy. I don't think we can. I think it's either going to come down to, but I honestly think that the country agrees with us more than who doesn't. And we're seeing that with the record number of turnout and people switching political party. Even though the Republicans are horrible people, like we talked about earlier, they're still the party that kind of doesn't suck as much. So you're seeing people flip parties because you can't explain the turnout unless people actually switched parties. I think you're going to see a coming to Jesus, no pun intended, where people are like done with it. Like, just look at what Netflix has stocked it. Look at all this stuff that's kind of going on. I think that you're seeing what you see online is bots. Like 50% of Biden's followers on Twitter are fake. They're paid bots, right?
Yeah.
So what does that say about the country? Now, I'm not going to say that the election was rigged. I will say that I think things have changed since then. And I think that a lot of people really dislike Trump. And that's why I'm hoping that he's not the candidate, because I think he is enough to keep the Democrats in office, because a lot of people really hate Trump. So the key to winning an election is making sure people don't hate you enough to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Because look at it, like if you look at any election where shit goes crazy, it's where they really, really hate the other guy.
Yeah.
And I think people might have, again, like you have the 2,000 mules or whatever. I think people might have hated Trump enough to make it close enough where, 7 districts can change it. And Trump he's just weak, and he's very polarizing. And I understand that. I understand why people don't like him. I do, because I don't personally like the guy. I just have common sense.
Yeah. I agree with, but my thing is, because again, I have a hard time riding with Republicans. I really do. Even though, and what people don't understand, when Mark and I say this actually doesn't help us out either. By the way, a lot of people are like, this is actually just us being honest, because it definitely doesn't help out to say like the Republican establishment is fucking crazy too.
Look what they did to Cawthorn, bro.
Yeah,
he was like he jumped off his wheelchair, was dry humping people. That was amazing.
Yeah, like, dude,
you didn't see that video? It was amazing. Like he was like dry humping a dude. He was doing shit we did in the high school football locker room. It just
right. I mean, what the fuck? My thing about it is, what we got going right now is clearly not working. Like, I mean, there's like food shortages and shit. It's clearly not working. We got to do some shit like that.
Oh my God, people can't eat. Hurry up! Let's send $40 billion to Ukraine for a war that can't be won. So, by the way, let's declare a hot war by proxy against a nuclear power. That's a fucking great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. So this is obviously not working. So obviously I'm gonna vote against what we got going on. But that to me just allows us to buy some time to get back to like maybe we shouldn't allow the federal government to openly spy on us. Like maybe the Patriot Act was a bad idea. Like shit like that. Like maybe we need to maybe we need to remind them that they work for us. That's where I'm getting at, because like for us to move forward and be like, we need to get to reality. What matters? What matters is we take care of our children, we educate them well, we hope that they can provide for themselves, we teach them to do that. That's we make them productive. Like it used to be like the whole goal was to raise productive members of society, like raise healthy young people to then push our species forward and possibly come up with good ideas. We are not doing that anymore. like,
Nah, I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
well,
I'm like forcing little girls to have to like use the same shower room as little boys that say they're little girls,
did you see they're
or that
taking
we're gonna.
away federal funding for school lunches if schools don't let dudes use girls' bathrooms? It's enough that
Yeah,
there's been rapes attributed to that rule,
yeah.
literal girls getting raped, and then the dad getting kicked out of a school board meeting for saying something about it. Look, here's the
Hmm.
deal. I'll go to jail.
Hmm.
I will
Oh
go to
yeah,
jail before I
I
let
go to jail for you.
the justice system take care of that. I'm taking care of that myself. And
Yep.
it's really just unfortunate that a fringe group of weirdos, like I know a lot of trans people just online and in person. I do. And this isn't just me. It's not the black best friend thing. Oh, I have a black best friend. I can tell I'm not racist. No, I do know a lot of trans people. And the trans people I know are like, yeah, they probably should, we can, it's probably weird, especially when like there's no litmus test. Like,
Yeah.
so my daughter's playing soccer. She goes in the locker room, she's changing, and there's a dick dangling in front of her. That doesn't, as even if I didn't have a daughter, that would make me think twice. Like it's a dick. Like
Yeah.
when you're in a locker room and you're a girl, you don't like it's like it or not, women are raped. A lot of women get raped.
Yeah.
And seeing a naked man in your place of comfort, your locker room, has to be one of the scariest experiences for a young lady.
Yep.
Just being
It's
there
horrifying.
and there's a penis. And luckily I live in a county where I think every parent would go and beat the shit
Yeah.
out of the school board at the same time. We were the county in the news for threatening the school board if they didn't take masks off. We know where they live. So I'm very confident in my community in standing up to this. But so they take away school. I think this is where states go, fuck your school lunch funding. We got this. Especially states with surpluses like Florida and Tennessee.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing. Like, what people, if you're listening, and you don't know what we're talking about. There was literally an announcement that if you don't allow, like, if you go against this, where you should allow, and because teenage boys don't lie about anything, but allow people that identify as girls to go in the girls' locker room. If you go against that, they're going to stop feeding. They're going to stop giving you money for the school lunch programs. Now, it's not the best lunch. It is, school lunch is terrible. However, do you know who that affects? Poor kids.
Poor kids.
Like
Rich kids are fine. We could go to private school. Like if my school went sideways, I'd go to BGA. Battleground Academy. 30,000 a year. Whatever. I'm rich. 30,000 a year. But the dude who lives on the street over, not in my community, he can't afford that shit. By the way, about the it appears the dad who had the girl who was raped, he was an abuser. Don't care. Don't care. That doesn't change the story. So the bottom line is, we need to protect our daughters. We need to protect females. We need to protect females. Oh, wait, hold on, Alan. It's not real. It's just transphobia. We got one. So you're saying that you'd be okay with your daughter just being around dicks in the locker room? That's cool with you?
Yeah. I mean,
Alan, Angel, do you have kids? Do you have a daughter? Do you have a mom? Do you have a heart? Do you have a soul? Like, people like you are not good people. You are either extremely stupid or extremely evil, because you are putting young and old women at risk. I'm sorry, I'm old school. Call me chauvinistic. Call me a sexist. We need to protect our women. We need to protect our girls. We need to protect our daughters. We need to open doors for them. We need to show them how men act. And if somebody does something wrong to a girl, we need to come as a community and beat the shit out of the person who did that. We need to protect our females. Why? Because that's what gender roles do. Men protect women. It's been like that since the caveman days, since we were dragging women around by their fucking hair with a club in our hand, protecting them from woolly mammoths.
Yep. I mean,
that is what, and anybody who sees otherwise, I'm not going to shop with you. Fuck you. Don't want your business.
Yeah.
I don't want.
We're good.
I don't want anything to do with you if you believe that it's okay to put my daughter at risk. Well, look, man, the chance of a female in the locker room raping my daughter is pretty low. The chance of a male might be really low, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. So, oh, here we go. They're already around female parts. There aren't people invading female spaces. Yeah, if you have a penis,
that's what this is. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's invasion. Angel, we're just going to let you go on to your own little world. You're in the wrong place, man. Nobody here likes you. I don't like you. We would never get along.
No.
Like, boycott me with your blue-haired friends. Don't care. At the end of the day, we need to protect women. We need to protect females, period.
And I don't like, women are being erased, people. So they have no space of their own. Like they have no sports of their own, no space of their own. I mean, I'm sorry. But there is a difference biologically between men and women, period. 100%.
But I'm all for. I love pronouns. I like them. I don't mind them. That's the thing. People assume I'm one way. No, I'm not. I believe that women should have safe spaces. I believe that children should have safe spaces. But I don't believe that I should, if somebody wants me, somebody believes that they're a female. I do believe in this. I don't believe it's a mental. I'm one of those guys. I'm not going to say it's a mental illness. They have high rates of suicide. Whatever. That's not my problem. If somebody wants me to call them ma'am or sir, and I misgender them, by all means, I will correct myself, because that's what you choose to be called. I think you have every right to be called whatever you feel comfortable with. And if I mess up, just please be respectful that I'm old school, and I will gladly say my bad. The best experience I had was, and I have to go in 3 minutes. I got to give my son a ride somewhere, Alan. The best experience I had with that, there was a very, very, very kind person who worked at a grocery store, Hy-Vee, that I was touring and doing appearances with. And it was a female by appearance. On her name, on his name tag, it said his name and then he, him. I nearly said, sir. I nearly said, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. I'm old. And because I saw that, I said, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And one of the nicest people I had any experience with. So I have no problem with that. That doesn't bother me. I am all for you identifying as what you feel comfortable identifying with. If you want to be a man who identifies as a woman who's a lesbian, I love you. Just do your thing. But once you start messing with female sports and female safety and female comfort, a woman has a right to be comfortable in her own locker room.
Absolutely.
That's her right. And I will die on that hill. I will absolutely die on that hill. But I will say, for the record, if anybody takes me out of context, that's fine. I will say for the record that I do not believe transgenderism is a mental illness. I believe that it's who that person believes they are. Who you believe you are is not a mental illness. I believe I'm a bodybuilder. I believe I'm a father. Like, we all believe different things. And look, whether it's nature or nurture, I don't know. But I think we all have a right to identify as what we want to identify as. And that's not my place to tell you to identify as one thing or not the other. So we need to be respectful of that. But we also need to be respectful of the world. Women who are women have a right to be women, have a right to have their own sports, and a right to have their own locker rooms.
I mean, how hard is that? I mean, like, especially when you look at it, because I know Mark needs to go, but especially when you look at it where the thing we initially started talking about with this was that now poor children have the choice of, your child can go to school, and your daughter, if you're a poor family, can go to school and have to be around boys that can completely just say they're women, say they're girls. They can say they're girls and stay they're still interested in women. And they have to, like, be in the locker room. Like, I'm sorry, but that is,
for me, it's common sense. Respect.
A predatory male is not going to take advantage of that. That's what predatory males do.
Respect people's space. Respect people's right to identify as what they want to identify as. But know that if you're in a locker room, it should be based on biology and not feelings.
I like that a lot. That's
pretty simple.
Perfect.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to give my son a ride to his friend's house because it's summer vacation, and luckily we didn't. Usually the boys are wrestling, and you'll hear every now and then. Like yesterday, I was doing some stories on Instagram, and it sounded like we had like some kind of a child beating ring going on here, but nonetheless,
child beating ring. I love it.
Well, let's do this again like Monday or Tuesday. I'm in all week next week.
All right. Well,
and I apologize for rambling on about that, Alan. I just feel really strongly about it. And I know I kind of dominated the microphone at the end there, and I truly apologize. It was less conversational than I prefer.
But it was important to be said, dude. Trust.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, maybe Monday, and then me and you will talk. We'll let them know, and we'll talk. And Big
All right,
Spoon
guys.
Bear, I'll try to make sure you're unblocked. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'm actually going to go hang out by the pool for a little bit with the wife.
God bless you, man. Have a good day, brother. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.
You have a good weekend too. Bye.
See everybody.